Before we get into the video, could everyone please subscribe to my Endless Diary Tales channel? Thank you so much. I am Vincent's fiancée. At the engagement banquet, a pregnant girl showed up. She said, "I came to see the small mom that the child's father married." Vincent immediately broke off the engagement with me. Later, he found out that the child in the girl's belly was not his. He begged me to give him another chance. I just smiled and brushed off his hand. "I no longer have any love for you." At the engagement banquet, as Vincent was about to put the ring on me, there was suddenly a commotion among the guests. A girl in a black tight dress walked in through the door. Vincent, who was half kneeling on the ground, stood up at once. He didn't have time to put the ring on me. Instead, he walked swiftly to the side of the girl in the tight dress. He grabbed her arm and asked her to leave. The tight dress accentuated the girl's prominently bulging belly. Anyone with sharp eyes could see that something was not right. I had a bad feeling rising in my heart. "Don't push me." The girl shook off Vincent's hand and said in a voice that everyone could hear, "I came to see the small mom that the child's father married." I stood in my gown at the front with a sharp pain in my chest, my fingernails digging into the flesh of my palm, trying to keep my voice somewhat normal. "Vincent, who is she? Whose child is she talking about?" Vincent couldn't look me in the eye. I already had the answer in my heart, but I still couldn't believe it. "Vincent, you have a child of this magnitude behind my back?" I felt trembling all over, unable to catch my breath. Vincent didn't deny it, but knowing that things were irreparable, he decided to come clean. He frowned. "Since things have come to this, our engagement is off, right? I only care about Cindy. Our child is already 5 months old." He walked closer to the girl and hugged her. I stared at him intently, hoping to find a trace of shame in his expression, but there was none. "You promised that you would never betray me." Vincent's face was full of disgust and annoyance. "Don't keep holding on to things of the past. The things said when I loved you no longer count." After saying that, regardless of all the guests present, he decisively left, hugging the girl. I never thought that 13 years of childhood sweethearts would end up as such a joke. When I got home, I received a call from my mom. "Is the engagement going smoothly?" My mom's gentle and caring voice came from the phone, and my pretense of strength and composure instantly collapsed. I cried uncontrollably on the phone. "Mom, I don't want to marry him. He has fallen in love with someone else." That night, my mom didn't blame me at all. She just asked me to come to her side as soon as possible. Our families are old acquaintances, and I grew up with Vincent. When we were little, every time someone asked him what he liked the most, he would always say, "I like Mandy the most. I will marry Mandy when I grow up." Later, after the age of innocence in junior high school, he was too embarrassed to openly say he liked me, but rain or shine, he always waited for me at the school gate to walk home together after school. In high school, there was a guy at school who was a troublemaker and confessed his feelings to me. I rejected him outright, but he kept coming to bother me. The most outrageous time was when Vincent waited for me at the school gate for 2 hours, but I didn't show up. That was the first time I saw him angry. A good student who never broke the rules, he didn't say a word and punched the guy who was blocking me in the face. The guy ended up unable to stand up, and Vincent was covered in injuries. He was punished, but he said, "Compared to you, these things are nothing." After the college entrance examination results came out, he confessed to me. That night, he asked me which university I wanted to go to, and I jokingly said I wouldn't tell him. He got anxious and said he liked me. Seeing him blushing, I felt fortunate and I agreed. He said, "Mandy, I only love you in this lifetime." I asked him, "A lifetime is so long. How can you guarantee that you won't like someone else?" He replied, "From childhood to adulthood, I could only see you in my eyes, and it hasn't changed all these years. So even if life is long, I won't change." Before I could answer, he kissed me lightly on the lips. But reality was not so smooth for us. We didn't end up in the same university. Just entering college, everything was full of novelty. Despite repeatedly explaining that I had a boyfriend, people kept confessing to me. When Vincent found out, he pleaded with his parents during the summer vacation, and our engagement was finally arranged after the agreement of both families. Being old acquaintances, our families became even closer. During university, my parents decided to relocate abroad due to the company's market layout. I didn't go because of Vincent. I chose to stay in the country alone. Our relationship was too smooth, with no obstacles, until a year after graduation. He became busier and busier, and when I looked for him, he was always unavailable. There were too many things at the company, and I couldn't just focus on love as before. I agreed with his view that in the adult world, love is just a supporting role. But when the two families discussed the engagement, he kept evading. Finally, the truth came out on his birthday, the day I took a day off to surprise him at his company. That's when I saw him hugging another woman. Driven by curiosity, I followed them. That's when I saw them having dinner, shopping, and eventually going to a hotel. It was already 8 o'clock in the evening when Vincent called me, saying it was his birthday, and asked if I had time to spend with him. That day, he kept talking about how it was too early to get engaged now. He wanted to focus on his career first. I didn't reveal to him that it's just an engagement, not a marriage. It doesn't affect your work. He didn't say much more, so the engagement went ahead as planned, like a gambler's mentality. I didn't shed a tear until I saw the coffin. I wanted to know if he would break up with the other woman for me, or if he would face off against everyone for her. But I never expected that they would have a child. After that day, I became the joke of the circle. Everyone knew that Vincent's lover showed up to the engagement party pregnant. Vincent, in front of everyone, protected the lover and child, completely disregarding his fiancée's feelings. I found it hard to believe what had happened until one unsuspecting morning. I was awakened by an urgent knocking. It was Vincent. His forehead was covered in sweat, his breath slightly wheezing like he was in a hurry. "What did you say to Cindy?" I didn't understand his meaning. "It's because of you. Cindy messaged me saying you wanted her to leave, and now she's missing. And she's pregnant. We grew up together all these years, and just because of this one sentence, he actually believed that I was such a malicious person. I didn't say anything. It's impossible. I really didn't say anything. Don't you believe me?" I grabbed his sleeve urgently, wanting to explain, but he suddenly pushed me, and I slammed into the wall. "Mandy, how did you learn to play these mind games? You used to be so kind. You wouldn't scheme against someone like this. How did he become like this?" He used to be afraid that I would be unhappy, but now every word is piercing my heart. He suddenly grabbed my arm, pulling me off balance, almost making me fall. "Cindy disappeared because of you. You have to come find her with me. I really didn't do anything. She's framing me. Can you believe me one more time?" I struggled to pull my arm out of his grasp, but he held on tighter. "You're just trying to shift blame, Mandy. You know what you've done. If something happens to her and the child, wouldn't your conscience bother you?" At that moment, I understood that liking someone is like handing them a knife pointed towards yourself. You just need to say a few words lightly to make you bleed. Just then, Vincent's phone rang. It was Cindy. "Vincent, please save me." I could hear Cindy's crying on the phone mixed with a man's insults. Vincent panicked, but still insisted on taking me with him. The address Cindy provided was a clubhouse. When we arrived, Cindy ran out from the door and threw herself into Vincent's arms. He looked extremely disheveled, hair messed up, wearing a bathrobe with bruises all over her exposed neck and arms, along with ambiguous marks left by a man. "Vincent, I don't want to live. Can you tell me who did this?" Cindy squeezed his arm. "Vincent, don't be angry. I'm okay, he didn't succeed." I was shocked when Cindy mentioned that it wasn't intentional, and she was just trying to scare her. A middle-aged greasy man in a bathrobe also came out. "You bitch, you ran away after taking my money, but this time I caught you. I'll make you pay," the man said, reaching out to grab Cindy. The next moment, Vincent threw the man to the ground. Vincent didn't stop there. The scene was almost brutal. I couldn't watch anymore. I heard the man's painful groans and the sound of bones breaking. Vincent didn't give the man a chance to speak, only stopping when the man fainted, then sending him to the hospital. After examination, Cindy only had minor external injuries. Vincent then blocked me in the hospital room and forced me to apologize to Cindy. I didn't instruct anyone to harm her. I still have hope that he will believe me. But he forcefully pushed me to the bedside, holding my wrists behind my back so tightly that it felt like my bones would break. His face was cold, without any emotion, as he crushed my dignity under his feet. Whether it was the pain in my wrists or the pain in my heart, tears welled up in my eyes. I didn't do it, and I will never apologize. If you dare, just kill me. I stubbornly raised my head to look at him. His face darkened again as we locked eyes. What are you doing? Vincent's parents arrived. He let go of me at the sound of their arrival. I didn't listen to what followed. All I could see in my mind was Vincent's disdainful and insensitive face, along with Cindy's triumphant smile. I suddenly remembered Cindy downstairs. Maybe you can ask your girlfriend downstairs to help you. Without looking at him, I left. Back home, I called Ryan, whose family always invests in the entertainment industry, and he is good at digging up secrets. Why do you have time to find me now? Did you finally discover the true colors of that scumbag Vincent and regret not choosing me? Ryan didn't stop talking as soon as the call connected. Help me investigate a person. Sure, my heart has always been with you. Why not investigate a person? I hung up before he could finish and sent Cindy's information to him. Ryan is handsome, young, and in good shape. The only downside is that he talks too much, which gives people a headache. He pursued me for a long time, but I only had eyes for Vincent. He, born with a silver spoon in his mouth, would get up at 5 in the morning to bring me breakfast downstairs, saying he was afraid I would leave if he came late. He even tried the trendy online trend of knitting a scarf for his crush, but the final product was hideous. He had the foresight to buy an LV scarf from me instead. One was a gesture, and the other was for you to wear outside. But I didn't accept either. He once waited all night downstairs for me. He hoped I could give him a chance to compare him with Vincent, and then make a choice. You can't determine a person's fate based on the order they appear. That night, he yelled in frustration. I didn't respond but remembered it for a long time. The order of appearance doesn't seem to matter. Otherwise, why would Vincent fall in love with someone else? Ryan never mentioned liking me again after that incident. He said we could be friends. His personality always made people happy. Vincent's family has a solid foundation and is difficult to harm, even in times of difficulty. But that's not enough for me. I want him to know the price of betrayal. I contacted the partners we cooperated with privately. Those projects were all secured through my parents' connections, and were all profitable. I raised the benefits, had them all cancel contracts with Vincent, and promised to cover any breach fees. Most bosses were easy to deal with and agreed. Those who were reluctant changed their minds when I increased the profits. The most difficult was Mr. Lee. He values integrity and morality the most. I understand that Mandy wants to take revenge on Vincent for personal reasons. Your conditions are indeed tempting, but I can't do things that undermine ethics in private. Indeed, Mr. Lee lives up to his name. But I didn't give up. If you value morals, you should cooperate with me. What do you mean? I must admit that I did seek revenge on Vincent for personal reasons, but last year, when Vincent was in an economic crisis, if it weren't for our family's help, would Vincent still be here today? And what about Vincent? After using me, he fell for another woman, had a child with her, and almost humiliated me at his engagement banquet. Can we cooperate with such an ungrateful person? Mr. Lee fell silent and said he needed a few days to think. I didn't say more and left. Soon, I received internal news from Vincent's company. Several projects were interrupted, they couldn't find partners, and their cash flow was difficult to sustain, causing everything to stagnate and drain resources and finances. Vincent is currently in a mess. He no longer has time for Cindy. What surprised me was that a post suddenly went viral online. It condemned Mandy for bullying, using her family's influence to force the person she liked to marry her. This post gained traction, with many bloggers on major media platforms creating misleading videos, painting me as an arrogant and domineering rich girl, and the victim became Cindy. The comment section was filled with sympathy for Cindy. Cindy is so pitiful. Clearly, she and Vincent are true love. Now she's pregnant, yet she is being bullied like this. Cindy, don't give up. We all support you. Ordinary people like us can't compete with those rich people. Men will surely choose interests. Marry Mandy, but does she think she's successful? Vincent doesn't love her at all. I couldn't help but laugh when I read a few comments. Is it worth all the effort to make Vincent marry me, a scumbag like him? I just want him to pay for his betrayal now. I never bullied Cindy. I had someone investigate the IP address of the first post. As expected, it came from where Cindy lived. Capable women should retaliate against men, not just bully the third party. But Cindy went too far. Just then Ryan called. I investigated Cindy as you asked. This time, without beating around the bush, he started very seriously. Cindy has been with countless men, a bunch of bosses, each time getting a large sum of money when the relationship ended, and then moving on to the next target. Even the child in her belly is not Vincent's at all. She faked the timing of her pregnancy test report. When she got pregnant, she wasn't even with Vincent. He was just a stand-in during that time. I took a sip of my coffee and then spoke. There are always men who won't take the bait, and those who do aren't good men. Exactly like me. Did Mandy think about me? I hung up. No, I'll send you the detailed information to your phone. There are photos and transaction records. I saw what was happening online. Do you want me to help you sort it out? In the entertainment industry, crisis PR is our specialty. I declined his kindness. If I haven't done it before, why would I do crisis PR now? Since Cindy wants the truth out, I'll help her make it known far and wide. I contacted many popular bloggers to keep the story going and build up to a climax. At that point, I'll have the information Ryan found released. Cindy posted photos with various bosses along with transaction records and the fake pregnancy timeline, immediately causing a backlash from netizens. Vincent's company stock plummeted. Mr. Lee called me the next day, agreeing to cooperate with me and cancel the contract with Vincent. Vincent was now trapped. With this partial victory, I felt great. Ryan messaged soon after. Is Mandy free? Let me treat you to dinner to celebrate your revenge. I pondered for a moment and replied, let me treat you to dinner. Thank you for the valuable information you helped me with. Great. Ryan replied instantly. The only common thing between Ryan and me was our love for Chinese food. I chose a restaurant and sent the location to Ryan. Ryan arrived ceremoniously with a bouquet of flowers. He showered me with a bunch of congratulations for resolving the trouble. During the meal, he seemed to want to say something several times, but I didn't ask much. As we were about to leave after dinner, he finally couldn't hold it in. Even in terms of the order of appearance, isn't it my turn now? His eyes sparkled as he looked at me. I didn't know how to respond. The passionate love at the beginning will gradually fade. The most loyal vows will be betrayed. If love is just that, what's the point of accepting another relationship? It's just a cycle of betrayal over and over again. Before I could say anything, Ryan suddenly stood up, swiftly walked over to me, and hugged me tightly. I looked up and saw Cindy. She had a bowl in her hand. The scalding soup was splashed all over Ryan's back. I realized that if Ryan hadn't blocked it, the bowl of soup would have splashed on my face. Wearing thin clothes in the summer, Ryan's white t-shirt was already soaked, and his back was red from the burn. With no time to argue with Cindy, I immediately took him to the hospital. Luckily, the burn wasn't too severe, but he had to stay in the hospital for observation for 2 days to prevent the wound from worsening. Just as I finished the formalities and returned to the ward, Vincent arrived. What Cindy did was too much. I will make her apologize to you. Vincent looked thinner, with a hint of bruise under his eyes. I can't bear to receive an apology from Vincent's sweetheart. I'm afraid it would shorten my life. Ryan, who was just groaning in pain, immediately shot his mouth off when Vincent came in. He then became sarcastic again. Mandy, I have broken up with her a long time ago, and the child is not mine. I was wrong to suspect you before. She is too cunning, framing you by making me lose my mind in a moment. Don't make it sound so nice. If someone loses their mind to a mistress, isn't it because of their own incompetence and lack of love for Mandy? Before Vincent finished, Ryan on the bed interrupted him. Vincent was not in the right side to begin with, and he was rendered speechless. A moment of silence. Mandy, there are some things I want to talk to you about. Can we talk in private? Why are you so despicable, trying to avoid talking to me when you can't argue with me? Do you just think Mandy is easy to deceive? Ryan instantly got angry. I didn't want to talk to Vincent anymore. But we needed to properly settle our past. Let's go to the cafe next to the hospital. The cafe was quiet at night. Vincent and I sat face to face, and he didn't speak for a long time. I couldn't help it and broke the silence. Just say what you want to say. When Cindy deliberately approached me back then, I firmly rejected her. I thought I would never betray you, and I would marry the girl I've liked for over 10 years. He lowered his eyes and continued. But she cared for me meticulously, innocent and kind. Over time, I found myself uncontrollably attracted to her, and I wavered. As our relationship became more intimate, I was in deep conflict. I seemed to have fallen for her, but I couldn't bear to lose you. I couldn't listen anymore. I didn't come here to hear your love story. No, I was like a man possessed back then, but now I am clear. My feelings for Cindy were not love. It was sympathy mixed with freshness, which led me to hurt you. My love is for you. Love and freshness are different. Freshness is fleeting, but when I say I love you, it's for a lifetime. Even though mistakes may happen in the process, leading me astray, for me, the right path in life is with you, and my love is only for you. His eyes were red as he looked at me. I felt nauseous. I had never heard something so disgusting. It was as if he was saying to me, I love you, but I will have affairs and I will have a child with another woman, but I will always love you. Can't you resist freshness? Can't you control your own heart? If that's the case, what's the difference between humans and animals? Isn't self-discipline a significant part of what makes us human? I couldn't contain my impulse any longer and grabbed the coffee on the table and splashed it at him. Why should I endure your indecision? In the past, you took advantage of my love for you, abandoned me without hesitation, hurt me, betrayed me, and now you want to rely on my love for you to forgive you? Do you truly love me? Do you think I could provide more value to you after weighing the pros and cons? I could help your company through difficult times after each affair, then happily raise your children, and all you need to do is tell me you love me, getting so much benefit at such low cost. Of course, you regret it, but you miscalculated. I no longer love you. After saying that, I left without looking back. Time changes a person. Interests change a person. Childhood sweethearts can't withstand human nature. When I returned home, I fell into a deep sleep. I dreamed of the past. During the holidays in college, we watched the sunset together. The golden hues across the sky were incredibly beautiful. Vincent held me tightly in his arms. I said, I wish time could freeze at this moment, and we could be together forever. He smiled, his voice as gentle as water. No need to freeze. We'll get married after graduating from college. I can accompany you like this every day, and watch the sunset together. My heart overflowed with sweetness. I dreamed of us climbing a mountain together at night. In the morning sun, he kissed me in the first light of dawn. He said he truly loved me. He said meeting me in this lifetime was his greatest fortune. Touched, I wanted to marry him right away. The dream was too long, and I was awakened by a knock on the door. Realizing it was already noon the next day, I opened the door to find Vincent. He had groceries in his hands. Why are you here? You have a stomach illness. You used to love to drink the porridge I cooked for you. I know you can't forgive me yet, but I can start pursuing you again. He looked at me, his face full of sincerity. But I didn't back down. I didn't want to let him into my house. He made it clear yesterday that we should stop seeing each other in the future. It's not about life or death for us. He didn't leave either. He just stood there facing off with me. When I tried to close the door, he stopped me. Just then Ryan showed up. Mandy, I brought you some porridge. Since you have a stomach problem, drinking some porridge will make you feel better, he said as he glanced at Vincent. This time, I can compete with him fairly, right? No, he doesn't qualify to compete. Ryan's here. He can't use brute force to stop me from closing the door. I let Ryan in, and then closed the door. Why do you still have contact with this scum? I haven't bothered you since you rejected me for him. But he ended up betraying you. I won't give up this time, Ryan said, patting my shoulder. People are easily drawn to those who are kind to them when they're at a low point. Ryan's ongoing help had made me feel a moment of affection. But I don't plan to stay here any longer, and I can't delay him either. I have no attachment to this city anymore. I'm planning to go back to my parents. The day I left, Vincent showed up again. As I packed my things and cleared out the belongings I wouldn't need, the door was wide open. He came in directly and took the box from my hand, offering to help. "No need," I said. Before I could finish my sentence, the box was opened in the struggle, and everything inside spilled onto the floor. Vincent knelt down and examined the items attentively for a long time. Finally, he looked up with a glint in his eye. "You still love me?" "I stopped loving you a long time ago," I denied. "You're lying. Why do you still keep the tickets from when we went out together, the gifts I gave you, and even the notes we wrote in school? If you don't love me, why do you still keep these?" His voice grew more and more intense. He grabbed my shoulders, forcing me to look at him. The next moment, I squatted down, picked up all the items from the floor, put them back in the box, and under his gaze, threw the whole box into the trash can. "I miss who I used to be, not you." Vincent stood there motionless, not saying a word for a long time. As I finished packing my luggage to leave, he said, "I'll take you. Let me be your friend." He was insistent. Since we wouldn't meet again, I didn't argue with him any further. He drove, and we remained silent all the way. "I'm leaving." When we arrived at the airport, I didn't linger. I quickly unbuckled my seatbelt and got out of the car. "Will you ever come back?" he asked. "Probably not." "And us? I hope we never meet again." I got out of the car. It had been a long time since I spent time with my parents. Once, all I could think about was Vincent, unwilling to leave him for my parents, who were always busy with work. Now I realized how unfilial I had been, ignoring my parents for a man. Later, I heard from Ryan that Cindy's child was gone. The child's father was married, and the wife didn't take it lightly. Once she found out about the affair, the child was gone. People shouldn't do immoral things, or they'll face consequences sooner or later. In the evening, my mom took me for a walk in the park, watching the lights in the windows of the buildings turning on one by one. If I never find someone who truly loves me, will I never have a home? Mom held my hand and jokingly said, "Nonsense. Wherever your parents are is home. If you can't find love, then just be a good daughter to your parents." At that moment, I finally realized that only my parents truly loved me forever. After a week of being here, Ryan came. "Come pick me up. I just got off the plane and can't find you." On my way to pick him up, I learned that he had checked my location, found my address, and then came over. But the location was only approximate, so of course he couldn't find me. When I arrived at the airport, I saw him all bundled up in his coat, his face red from the cold, exhaling clouds of white breath. "Trying to look your best? You have no idea how cold it is here, do you?" Once inside the car, it took a while for him to warm up from the cold. "You have no conscience. I dressed up to see you." I dropped him off at the hotel. At the door of his room, I handed him the key card. "I'm heading back. You should rest early." "I came to see you." Suddenly, he grabbed me. "I've started to shift my investment business over here." "What do you mean?" Ryan, unlike his casual self, said seriously, "Since your parents are here and you don't want to leave them, I'll come here too to be with you. Where you are, that's where my heart is." My heart skipped a beat. What if I never agreed to be with you? Then I'll wait a lifetime, be your friend for life, never crossing the line. My heart was in turmoil. I didn't dare to look at him any longer. I turned and hurried into the elevator, pressing the closed door button hard, afraid he might catch up. As the elevator swiftly descended to the ground floor, the cold air filled my lungs. I stood outside the hotel pondering for a long time. I thought back to when my parents moved abroad, and I hesitated on whether to go with them or not. At that time, Vincent said, "Don't you love me?" "I do." "Then don't leave me. Stay here. This will be your home in the future." But now Ryan told me I could go wherever I wanted and he would plan everything and come to be by my side. Suddenly, it all made sense to me, and I rushed back into the hotel. The puzzled look of the front desk staff met me as I headed straight to Ryan's floor. The doorbell rang once and the door opened. "Let's give it a try, but if you betray me..." "I won't. Never. I'll spend the rest of my life proving it to you." He held me tight, and I realized he had been in the room for so long he hadn't even changed his coat and shoes. "Why did you open the door so quickly?" I was waiting at the door for you to knock. I also wondered why I dared to try again. Perhaps because Ryan was so genuine, but Vincent had been sincere too. It seemed like Ryan had pursued me for so long without giving up, while Vincent loved me for over a decade. In the end, I realized that I couldn't simply let the chance of love slip away due to one betrayal, one failure in love. Fortunately, the later version of Ryan made me feel like my decision to try again was the right one. The order of appearances doesn't really matter. How many people don't meet a few scoundrels when they're young? So never give up on love. Believe that you deserve it.